Hello, welcome to High Vibe Astrology. This is Jennifer, back with a video on the Aquarius new moon, drawn up for January 29, 2025 at 7:36 a.m. Eastern Time. Whether you're new or returning, I'm so grateful that you've joined me here. I do ask that if you enjoy my content, to please subscribe, hit the like button, and share these messages if you feel guided, all of which are free and easy ways to support this channel. Aquarius is the sign of the water bearer. Sometimes people even think it's a water sign, but it's actually an air sign. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces are the water signs. Air pertains to an intellectual orientation, and Aquarius is ahead of its time, seeking to advance human knowledge, science, and technology to advance human civilization. Aquarius's constellation is that of a man pouring a pitcher of water from heaven down upon the earth. It reminds me a lot of what Christ had told his disciples when they asked him when he would be returning. He said, "Go into the house, whereupon you will find a man bearing a pitcher of water." And I believe he was referring to the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of awakening and enlightenment. It is higher consciousness. And this chart's configuration feels to me to be those heavenly waters pouring forth higher consciousness into the hearts and minds of humanity. At least that is the opportunity for those who have the hearts and minds to receive it. Even if you don't practice Christianity, it is Christ consciousness that represents a very high state of awareness. All the ascended masters came here to guide us back to the realization that everything they were capable of doing, so are we capable of accomplishing. Just as Christ said, "These things I do, you can do, and more. It is your faith that has healed you." So the pattern in this chart feels a lot like this energy. The Aquarius stellium sits in the 12th house, which is the heavenly realm, the least physical house, the most spiritual house, with the Pisces stellium then being in the first house. That is the house of giving birth to something new. So it's like we are giving birth to these spiritual waters, showing up in the house of the I Am principle. The 12th house is the native house of Pisces, and it represents dreams, imagination, spiritual vision, mediumship, and where we are wrapping up loose ends from our karmic past. It represents energies that are hidden from the human eye or from the physical view, but are nonetheless deeply felt and channeled in some way. And this Aquarius new moon happens to mark the beginning of the Chinese New Year as well, the year of the snake. Snakes have a couple of different symbols, but their medicine has to do with shedding their skin, transmuting something poisonous into the antidote for that poison. We have the caduceus, the symbol of healing that all doctors and physicians use, two snakes intertwining up the staff, which represents the solar and lunar energies of Kundalini, rising from the base of the spine to the pineal gland, the third eye. We also have the Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail, which is simply another symbol representing that endings are beginnings, that life force energy does not die, it merely changes form. So with this Aquarius new moon stellium in the 12th, we are finishing up a cycle in which many things related to the Aquarius energy were hidden from us. Many advances in science, technology, ufology have been hidden from our 3D world, but they've been there, operating behind the scenes nonetheless. It also represents the ending of allowing artificial intelligence to become our master in any way. Whereas the Pisces stellium in the first house marks the beginning of allowing higher consciousness and universal love to be born in the heart and soul of humanity. So we have Aquarius rising, and that means that our orientation to life is seen through the lens of Aquarian things, advancing humanity with science and technology. Saturn is the ancient ruler of Aquarius, and it's in the first house. So it is wanting to bring these new inventions into form, but through the Pisces vehicle, it is combining the air intellect with the feeling nature of Pisces. And in the first house, it wants to bring these new inventions into form. Uranus is the modern ruler for Aquarius, and it sits in an angular house, making its energy more prominent. In the third house, it signifies that these are the things that we will be learning about. Uranus in the sign of Taurus wants us to create inventions that are earth-friendly and that keep the earth in balance. This Aquarius new moon is activating the Aquarius South Node in the United States Sibley chart. So this is reinforcing that 12th house placement in the new moon chart, because both the 12th house and the South Node have to do with a karmic reckoning with our past, tying up loose ends from an old pattern that no longer serves us. And this is what happened in the ancient civilizations of Lemuria and Atlantis, when we forfeited our spiritual gifts for the sake of technological advancement. Human consciousness is itself spiritual technology. It is the real mover and shaker of our destiny, with the ability to visualize what we choose to create in our physical world, inspired by very human feelings. In this chart, and for the next 1.5 years, our destiny is guided by this Pisces North Node. Always seen through a positive lens, the North Node in Pisces is all about the feels, human emotions, and our soul. This stellium is a powerful statement about connecting humanity with its collective soul. Neptune conjunct this North Node. Venus and Neptune, both conjunct the North Node in Pisces, together represent a destiny calling humanity forward to feel this connection of our soul, Neptune, with our humanness, Venus, as a sacred union. The Pisces North Node is also about recognizing that just by being on the planet is, in fact, enough. This is the antidote to the Virgo South Node that often feels like it's not enough in this world. In the eyes of the Creator, or at the level of soul, we are already perfect, even as we acknowledge our human frailty. Perfection is an illusion because the nature of God and reality is always evolving. There is no end that we ever reach. Perfection is not a destination. It is a journey. So just like the Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail, is one cycle ending and another one beginning, we are shedding the skin of the martyr and celebrating the resurrection of humanity's soul. This is where the nature of love is the answer. Love covers a multitude of sins. It covers a multitude of imperfections. We will undoubtedly make mistakes along the way as we develop these advanced technologies. But as long as we stay centered in the heart and in universal love, we will always find our way. We're being given the opportunity to get it right this time. As we advance in our ability to develop AI should always be there to serve humanity, not the other way around. The axis between the 2nd and 8th houses in the United States Sibley chart demands a balance between material stability and spiritual insight, spiritual depth, substance, and that is where we derive authentic power. And it's also the balance between acquisition, second house, and elimination of waste, eighth house. Our Leo North node requires heart-centered wisdom and creativity. In the eighth house, we've already seen, and will continue to find out, how our leadership has abused its power with a lack of transparency, deals done behind the scenes for selfish gain and purposes. And although the new leadership may appear to be making many changes, we are making up for a very long stretch of time where we have been kept in the dark intentionally by those in power. There is a lot of catching up to do. This leadership is about transparency, keeping the public informed. And it is a prominent sign that there is this transfer of power going on from an old way of leadership that gave power to the few, and now we are putting it back into the hands of all people. We also have retrograde Mars activating the United States Mercury retrograde in the 8th house, restoring to power what has been held back for so long. So matters pertaining to our homeland, Mercury and Mars are both in Cancer. Things about our homeland that have been manipulated to steal from the taxpayers. Death and taxes, another 8th house theme. We're also seeing themes that have to do with the abuse of life force energy, sexuality, to subvert humanity's true spiritual essence and power. So all of these 8th house themes are now being retroactively restored. As we continue on this journey and witness the dance of light and shadow, the simultaneous destruction of the old guard and reconstruction of new systems in our world, spirit and science must be given equal airtime and developed side by side as the yin and yang of advancement. Both come from the Creator. However, we as humanity are the vessels who wield these gifts and have been given great responsibility to that end. If we develop only our intellect, we stand to lose our soul. Love is the only real power that simultaneously moves mountains while creating new worlds. So that is what I have for you. The frequencies are next, but I wanted to tell you about a new service that I'm offering, which ties in beautifully with this Aquarius new moon. As we are all evolving, there are inevitable adjustments our bodies have to make, and these changes impact our emotional, psychological, and spiritual well-being too. So I'm happy to be able to offer you galactic activations created by Enrita Melchizedek. Her work has always been my go-to for rebalancing, for spiritual understanding, coherence, and healing during what has often been tumultuous change. There are 48 sacred geometric templates and invocations which can help you navigate your individual evolution and ascension process. And as you do that, you are naturally facilitating an ease in the collective evolution as well. So if you're interested, please check out the information in the window below or go to my website, soundworksbygail.com. Thank you again for listening, and I look forward to being with you next time. Bye for now.